Well, hey everybody, hope you're having a good week. Sounds like we got quite a thaw ahead of us these next few days, which is always an interesting thing this time of year, right? I just want to rehash a little bit, go back to what we talked about on Sunday as we looked at Matthew 18, specifically a couple sections right around forgiveness and specifically life within the church with your fellow disciples, brothers and sisters we talked about. And we moved that into church membership and what that means here at Faith. Again, we talked about how we need to keep in mind what Jesus talked about right before this, or at least how Matthew puts it in that order of the sheep that wanders, that Jesus would go after that one sheep that wanders to bring them back into the fold. And then we have this perspective, right, that we look at what it means to be part of the church. And I'll be honest, I'm sure some of you, as you heard what I said or thought a little bit about what church is like or meant to be like, at least described here, it sounds a little bit idealistic or not realistic. Or maybe some of you have been in churches, maybe even in this church, where you've been hurt by somebody in the church. And so we have this, all these pieces coming together of imperfect people with a call from Christ in this situation. As Spirit-led people, how do we live into what Jesus describes here? And so let's just walk through that a little bit again today. As we think about church membership specifically, as we talked about, we have a Next Steps membership class coming up at the beginning of March, the first 2 Sundays in March. We look forward to that. We're excited about what has already been happening in these Next Step classes, the one that we had this past fall, where we have a good group of people who are moving towards church membership that we'll be able to, Lord willing, vote on at our annual meeting coming up in May. We have more that will be attending this class coming up in March, and so we're excited about that. We are excited to walk through what membership means here at Faith. As I landed upon on Sunday, the main premise being it's a relationship, a care for one another, a trust in one another, and that this person wants what's best for me and what's best for our church as they think through, if you wander from the Lord, I'm coming after you. I'm going to help bring you back like Jesus and that sheep. And if I wander from the Lord, I want to know that you're going to come after me too. That's the kind of close-knit community that the church is intended to be. Again, whatever your past history is, whatever you think the church is about, I just would encourage you to think in those terms primarily about it. And then all the other things about the theological things that we believe, the way that we serve, the way that we do things around here, all come through that perspective. Again, I mentioned part of our vision of together as one. That's a huge part of what we're trying to accomplish, what the Lord, I think, is leading us to here at Faith. And so we're so glad to have a church family, a group of members like this that love each other as well as they do. And in the midst of that, we are also recognizing on a week like this how much somebody like Dale means to our church as a longtime member of our church, as we recognize his life and recognize that he is now in front of Jesus and being cared and seeing all the truths that he has looked forward to his whole life. Again, thank you for being part of the Faith family here, whether that's an online view like this or a long-standing church member. You're valuable to us and valuable to the Lord, and I look forward to seeing how God will continue to grow us together. Have a great week.